Hi, this is Akmir with the US stock highlights for Tuesday, the 8th of December here on Share Talk. Starting off with Cidm Corporation, which we've liked, we've already identified before and liked it because of the gap through the 50-day moving average, which we had last week, an inside day breakout today, which is quite healthy, and I suppose the initial target now, the 200-day moving average at 92 cents. The upside valid while we hold above the top of the gap there at around 64 cents. I suppose you would have today's intraday low at 70 cents as the tight stop loss if you could manage that. Otherwise, through the 200-day line, obviously the stock should hopefully make a beeline for $1.16, which was the old September intraday peak, and that hopefully seen by the end of next month. Going on to another stock which has got good bullish credentials today. It takes a while to filter them down, but here we've got Cantel Medical Corporation, and the excitement here, really the strong progress that we've had today after the recovery of the 50-day moving average at the end of October. That's the blue line there, and the gap's higher as well, suggesting that the momentum was gathering. What we're hoping for here is above the old February peak there, around $70.91 on an end of day close basis. We could hit the top of the rising trend channel from March as high as $90, hopefully by the end of this month, and definitely if we can stay above $70 by the end of next month. Next contender today is one which is making a debut here on the stock highlights. We've got Gran Tierra Energy gapping through the 200-day moving average at 30 cents, and also that June resistance line at the same sort of level. And while we're above the 200-day line on an end-of-day close basis, looking for a retest, hopefully, of the that old peak from June around 70 cents, and maybe if we're lucky up to 80 cents by the on a sort of 2 to 3 month view, so maybe by the end of February up towards 80 cents if things pan out well. If they don't pan out well, then below 25 cents initial December support, and then we got the risk of a fresh test for support on this, or fresh lows in fact, for the shares back below the 20 cents level. But it looks as though there's been a decent attempt here, a decent turnaround for the stock above the 200-day line and the 30 cents level. Moving on to a rather more high-profile company next, Mrna, where we've got vaccine fever around at the moment over the last few weeks, and here we have the shares hitting one of our targets. I suppose the first target was around $120, second one that steeper line of resistance at $160, and while we're above 160, hopefully looking for a retest of the peak to date at 178.50. Big picture target, if you're a fan of the of Mrna and all things vaccine related, would be a 2 to 3 month target up to $264 or $265, let's say, on a 2 to 3 month time frame. At this stage, only really back below that old swing low around $128, really delaying the upside scenario. But hopefully, we actually remain above the 155, 160 area in consolidation ahead of a further attempt at new highs for the year. A stock which seems to be living up to the dreams and fantasies of its supporters is Pltr Tech. Here we've got the situation where the shares have continued within this rising trend channel from the end of September. The key issue today, I suppose, is that we remain above yesterday's peak at $29 on an end-of-day close basis. If we get an end-of-day close above $29, either today or later in the week, then the target here remains up to $36 at the top of the September rising trend channel, only really breaking back below $22.50 in the floor of the channel from September, really delaying the upside scenario. But worth watching out for $29 plus, leading to 36 over the next 2 to 4 weeks. Now we've got a stock which is looking reasonably strong as well. Platinum Group Metals, as you would expect, given the performance of the commodity itself. Here we've got a situation where the shares have broke the top of the channel there towards $3.50 and made massive and significant progress since then. We had a rather optimistic looking trend channel or trend line there from the end of September, pointing to $5.50 plus, which we managed to get up to $5.20 so far, so pretty impressive. But $5.50 plus remains the target, while there's no end of day close back below yesterday's high at $4.41. So let's see how that goes, and whether we have to come up with yet another higher target on $5.50 being achieved. I suppose if that was the case and we got through to the $5.50 area, we'd be looking at a potential move towards $9 plus. But let's see how we go over the next couple of days. I don't want to get too carried away. Moving on to the next situation, which is also looking quite sprightly. Here we've got stock which has an ingenious name, Poww, and what's noticeable here is the way that we've just broken that November resistance line around $25.75, and above that on an end of day close basis, looking for further gains, hopefully towards the top of that rising June channel, currently promising and pointing towards a $45 target. That would hopefully be hit by the end of next month. As far as support is concerned, the upside argument valid while we hold above the floor of the June channel, currently around $23.50 on Poww. Stock which has a decent code, ammo, a decent name in fact, ammo, which is quite inspiring, I suppose. Here we've had a extended base for the shares at and around the 200-day moving average since the middle of October. Multiple support points on that black line, which is normally a helpful thing to see on a charting basis. We've then broken the August resistance line there at $2.73 and above $2.73 on an end of day close basis, looking towards a January resistance line projection, currently pointing as high as $5.35. Hopefully that can be seen by the end of next month, and if we're really lucky, by the end of this month. One of the sort of odd situations, odd things about covering US stocks when you are not familiar with all the particular companies is the way that sometimes the ones with the most intriguing or coolest names seem to be the ones which do best in terms of performance. QuantumScape, a cool name, and as you can see over the recent past, shares have done very well indeed, sort of doubling over, or more than doubling over the last few weeks. We've had a gap higher today, and the view is that while we're above yesterday's high and the floor of the gap at $44.55, we can hit the top of the rising trend channel from September as high as $70, hopefully by the end of next month, and possibly even by the end of this month. If you're looking for a fresh momentum trigger, obviously an end of day close above yesterday's, rather last month's resistance at $52.80 would do the trick. Otherwise, I suppose we're down to buying on any dips towards the floor of the gap at $44.55. This stage, really back below $40, really killing the idea of an ongoing break higher for QuantumScape. Just a couple of stocks to go now. First is Mammoth Energy Services with its great stock code. Here we've broken November resistance. That was at $2.39. Broken that quite well, and while we're above that level on an end of day close basis, looking towards the top of the channel and a line of resistance from January, currently heading towards the $4 area. So above $2.39, looking for $4 over the next 4 to 6 weeks on Mammoth Energy Services. Last stock of the day coming up, and here we've got a situation which is Vldr LiDAR, which I suppose is all very techie sounding, modern techie sounding type of company. Here we had resistance there in October, around $17.40, the floor of the channel today, or rather this month, in fact, $18.99, and while we're above $18.99 on an end of day close basis, looking towards the top of the rising July trend channel, currently promising a target as high as $28, hopefully by the end of next month. But I suppose that it's a reasonable risk-reward situation given that old October support and the floor of the gap as support this month as well. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.